When last we left our intrepid adventurers, Seraph and Ulysses had wandered back to the water's edge in time to stumble into a large knot of sheesh. However, there was no way they could have known that Australia was going to drop an explosive fire spell into that area. Ulysses dives out of the main blast area of the spell, and Seraph is protected by the mass of sheesh around him. The monsters fall down dead, and the two warriors are burned and bruised. They stagger towards the boats. They discuss the sheesh, which are native to the northern continent of Avalon, and rarely migrate, so this is kind of important. Looking over the sheesh encampment, they come across a series of sculptures made out of sticks, moss, and sheesh excrement. Seraph explains to Finn and Ulysses that sheesh use this to mark their territory. Basically, that means that the sheesh that they killed were not just a random grouping, but the beginnings of a northern Deseradan invasion force, something that needs to be reported to Sylvia's Rest as soon as possible. The party, with the help of the sailors, clean up the sheesh camp and then spend the rest of the day on the boat as it picks its way down the coast. By mid-afternoon, they see the village of Sylvia's Rest ahead of them. As they enter the port, they find that the town is still recovering from the Devilmen from the Deep attack from just a couple of months back. They see that the rebuilding has started with the Temple of Chaldasea on the hill. It's now next to the manor, and the bar that was partially destroyed when it fell into the bay is slowly being raised. Most of the party decides they're going to head off to a bar. Scalla is met by a pair of southern Deseradan soldiers and escorted to the keep on the hill. A young boy asks the rest of the party if they're looking for a drink. Seraph and Ulysses yell, "Yes, they are." The youth says to follow him, and he jogs off. Ulysses and Seraph follow closely at his heels. Finn tries to catch up, asking the boy if the bar needs a bard. And Akai and Australia follow behind. Scalla arrives at the keep and is ushered into the throne room, where Jekena Junico I waits. Their greetings are warm. It's a well-known fact that Junico and Scalla had a bit of a romance years ago. Junico asks about the mission and how things are doing in the north. Scalla informs them about the dragon turtle in Dragon Turtle Bay, as well as the sheesh encampment they ran into earlier today. Soon, the conversation comes around to where it was going all along. Junico tells Scalla that her friend has borrowed large amounts of money in Scalla's name and owes half of the merchants in the town significant sums. Scalla is confused about this. She doesn't have any friends in the town, except for Priestess Morgan. He says that he was talking about her common friend, the former Manthuthian maid, Lissa. Scalla grows angry. She disavows any friendship with the woman and says that she was nothing more than a chia in the bar they stayed at in Dragon Turtle Bay before the Northerners sieged Fortress Lament. She says again, Lissa is not a friend of hers. Junico tells her that she has been saying that they were business partners and that Scalla was willing to back all of her debts. Scalla says it's a lie. She says that she doesn't even have any money. Junico gives her a sympathetic look and says that by what he's heard, the debt is several thousand gold. Scalla begins to fume. What is this business? She demands to know. She's trying to decide what animal she's going to turn Lissa into first. Junico turns red and says that she has opened a brothel called Scalla's. Scalla, at this point, is beyond simple anger. She grimaces and turns to go, but Junico stops her, saying that one needs to ask permission before leaving the presence of their Jacana. She turns and asks him if she can go. Junico says no. He says he needs to give her something first, and he holds out his hand.